Hi everyone, I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia, and I come on here fairly frequently to answer immigration questions, right? To answer your immigration questions. Just so you have a little bit of background about what I do, what my experience is in, and what my firm does. Um, our firm, as I mentioned, is based outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. We help our clients no matter where they are located in the U.S. And if you have had experience with lawyers before, immigration is a little bit different. Immigration is different because it's considered a federal practice. So no matter where in the US you are located, we're dealing with federal government law, right? Law created by the federal government, not state specific things like contracts or marriage or things like that, like marriage and divorce, right? So that's why we can help you with immigration questions, even if it's marriage based, even if it's humanitarian, or if you're a company sponsoring individuals for green cards, for visas, or if you're one of the individuals getting sponsored by the company and you have questions on employment based matters, we can help you with that as well. One of our most common types of cases, or the types of cases that we handle, we deal with families, marriage-based cases, whether they're marriages that are working out or they're marriages that are not going as one would have thought when they entered into the marriage. We deal with lots of people who are getting married or are married. And today I wanted to talk about fiancé visas. So we get a lot of questions about fiancé visas. If you have other questions, put them in. I'm going to start off talking about fiancé visas, and I will go ahead and answer your other questions as soon as I'm done going over this, right? So go ahead, tell me where you're from. If you've never joined me before, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney and I practice only immigration law, but we do practice all types of immigration law. So employment-based, people that are victims of crime, victims of trafficking, if you're being forced to work, being exploited by your employer, if you're afraid to return to your home country, you're looking for help with asylum, we can help with all these different types of cases. But here, importantly, you can ask your questions and hopefully I will be able to answer them for you. Okay, and say hello if you are just joining, if you're just joining me or have never joined me before. I'm streaming live right now on both Facebook and on TikTok. The handle is at Agarwal Immigration. Okay, I'm streaming on both Facebook and TikTok. Handle is at Agarwal Immigration. If you haven't already, followed us on TikTok, liked us on Facebook, make sure that you do, just because you will then be notified every time I go live. If you have friends that could use immigration help, that need to learn about immigration or are confused about their own status or what options they might have or looking for options, please share this with them, share our handle with them so they can be notified and they can join us and ask questions as well. Okay? All right, let's get back to K-1 visas. Okay, let's get back to K-1 visas. What are K-1 visas? So K-1 visas are fiancé visas, right? K-1 visas are fiancé visas. So only people that can sponsor a K-1 visa is a U.S. citizen, okay? Only U.S. citizens can sponsor their fiancés. So essentially, you have to show that you are in a relationship with this person. So in a K-1 situation, there's an American and then there is someone abroad, right? So usually with K-1s, they're not going to be living here in the US. They're being sponsored from abroad. Okay, so these are fiancé visas. The person being sponsored, the fiancé, is abroad. So the American citizen can file a petition with USCIS, give proof of the relationship. And here's the thing to remember: you have to have seen each other in person within the last 2 years. There are some exceptions to all of this, but you have to see each other in person within the last 2 years. So that's really important. And basically, and show that your relationship is real, right? So that you can show photos. If you've taken trips together, you can show itineraries of that. You can show the American citizen flying abroad and show that itinerary to show that they saw you in person. We can show photographs. We can show an intention to get married once a visa is given. So these are all different things that need to be proven to be eligible for a K-1 visa. Okay, so it is essentially a fiancé visa that's only available for U.S. citizens that are sponsoring their fiance from abroad. Once the visa is approved, that person has to enter the U.S., get married within 90 days, and then they can apply for a green card. Okay, that's what a K-1 visa is. And if you want to talk about it, if you have a fiance abroad that you want to sponsor, give us a call. Congratulations. And we can talk to you about the process for a fiance visa. And another option that you might consider is just sponsoring them outright for a green card instead of just the fiance visa. Okay. If you have questions about that, if you want to do a consultation, give us a call. We're at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. All right. We do our consultations. If you're wondering what they are, we do them by phone or by Zoom. Usually those are our most popular ways to do consultations. I'm also doing them in person. Again, I'm located outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. So our clients sometimes that are local or maybe even sometimes on the East Coast do drive in, come into the office, and we do in-person consultations. I'm happy to do that. When you're scheduling, just let Ara know. Ara is one of my colleagues who answers our phones and helps schedule consultations. She's our customer care specialist, so some of you may have already spoken with her. You can give her a call, let her know you want an in-person consultation, and she could schedule one. She could schedule one for you. Okay. You can also, if you want to schedule a Zoom or by phone, if you don't follow us on Facebook, you can go onto our Facebook page. There's a link where you can schedule on your own. Our office is open till 5 p.m. Eastern time, so 8 a.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern time. But there is a link on our Facebook page where you can hop on and schedule your own consultation. You'll see my whole availability, and I will see you on Zoom or by phone. Just put your preference in. You can go ahead and pay for it there too. See my availability and book it right there. You'll get a link immediately with how to log in for the Zoom consultation. But if you want by phone, just put your phone number and say that within the contact form, and we will give you a call instead of Zoom. Great. Thanks so much. Look at all the nice compliments I'm getting here. Eddie says, so true, and I know all about their family. Yes, absolutely. It is so true. Hello, Candle. Hi, Jubilant. Okay, so let's keep going back to the K-1 visa, right? Because I really want the people that are watching here that came to learn about K-1s to really understand what is a K-1 visa and kind of understand the intricacies of a K-1 visa, okay? All right, so we talked about what is it, right? What is it? Some people have also heard of a K-3 visa, right? There's a K-1 visa, it's for fiancés of Americans, and the K-3 visa is for spouses. So I'm going to tell you, this is my opinion, I do not recommend the K-3 visa, right? The K-3 visa is generally an application for, say you're an American citizen, your spouse is abroad, and you're going to start the green card process for them. So you start the green card process by filing this application. You start that process in the US. While that is pending, you can also file a petition for this K-3 visa, basically showing that you're married and showing that it's a real relationship, and showing that you've seen each other and you intend to sponsor their green card once they enter the US. Okay? You can do that. The only way you qualify for this K-3 visa is if that first green card application is still pending at the time your spouse is going to be entering, at that time that visa is going to be issued. So in many situations, that K-3 visa petition is not approved because it takes the same amount of time as the green card option. So if that's the case, just do the green card. If you're already married, my opinion is that you just do the green card just because of current processing times. That may change. That may change with USCIS, but processing times do change pretty often with USCIS. So it's very possible that the K-3 processing times, could change. But right now, the way I'm seeing it is that they're about the same. So there's no real benefit to doing a K-3, which is basically, allowing your spouse to come to the US while their green card application is pending, right? That's what that is, but it's only the petition portion, not the whole green card portion. So the timing is about the same. So I don't think it makes sense to do a K3 visa. I think if you're going to do it anyway, just do the green card and avoid the K3 visa, because you're not going to bring your spouse here any sooner, but you might as well just bring them in with the benefit of being able to live and work and travel freely once they enter the US, right? Because your spouse is coming from a different country. They're coming here to be with you, and it's a shock for many people. It's a shock to first move to the US and adjust to everything, right? And many people might just take it easily and ease right into it. But for most of us, including myself, I'm an immigrant myself. It's a shock when you first move to the US. Things feel very different. So if you have the ability to work, if you have a social security card, if you feel some kind of stability, at least with your immigration status, that might be helpful, just in a tiny little way. Okay, so that is my 2 cents on the K3 visa, which is a little bit different than the K1. So K3 is for people, don't forget, that are married already, and they're started the green card process, and they're trying to bring their spouses in while that green card option is pending. The K1 visa is for fiancés of Americans, right? So fiancé has to be abroad. Essentially, it's a real relationship. You've seen each other in the last 2 years, and you intend to get married within 90 days of entering. And that marriage, the legal marriage, has to occur in the US. Many of my clients will have a larger reception or a larger ceremony after kind of a court marriage in the US, because they might want to do it abroad with family as well. But they want to be together sooner, so they do this K1 visa. Okay? All right, so what are the benefits of a K1 visa? So what are the benefits of a K1 visa? All right, it usually can take about 1.5 years for them to enter, right? So where a green card, for example, can take about 2 to 2.5 years. So the benefit is if they're a fiance, you're not yet married, they can come in, right? They can come in, and you can be together sooner, and then you can apply for their green card get married and apply for their green card within 90 days of their entry. So essentially it allows the two people to be together sooner, which is important when you're starting out a relationship, right? So the entire process takes about 1.5 years. The K1 process is a little bit more complicated, I think, than some of the other visa types. So essentially, you file a petition. The first step is to file a petition in the US, right, with the Department of Homeland Security. You prove all of the things that you need to prove, that you're engaged, that you intend to get married, that you've seen each other in the last 2 years. Once that's approved, that usually takes about 10 months or so to be approved. The case then gets transferred over to the National Visa Center that just takes a quick look at everything and gives us instructions on submitting the visa application. So we submit the visa application, and the case gets transferred over to the embassy, and an interview is scheduled, and you get a whole bunch of things you're supposed to do, like complete your medical abroad, the documents that you need to take, including police clearance certificates and a number of other things. And then your fiance will appear for an interview at the embassy abroad by themselves, right? That interview is by themselves. They get stamped with the K1 visa, and they have 6 months to come into the US. On that visa, once they come in, you have to get married, and then you can apply for the green card. Okay? Remember, they don't have the authority to work necessarily when they come in on the K1. All right? They have to apply for a green card and apply for work authorization based on the green card. Well, that's the typical process. All right? I hope that answers your questions on the K1 visa. Great, and I don't see many other questions here, but we have so many people joining. I will be on again. Feel free to join me again. I'm at Agarwal Immigration on both Facebook and on TikTok. It's at Agarwal Immigration on both Facebook and on TikTok. If you have friends that have immigration questions, please share this with them, share our handle with them so they can hop on and ask immigration questions. If you would like to do a confidential consultation, please reach out to us. You can call our office, 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. or you can go on our Facebook page and schedule a consultation on your own. Okay, look forward to seeing you guys. My dog's doing great, Majawal. Thank you for asking. And I will see you guys again very soon. Thank you. Bye.